Hello, welcome back to the Sewing Circle. My name is Leslie and this is my channel. Welcome to Friday Sews, and I'm so excited to be here because this week has been jam-packed full of sewing projects, thrift finds, and I just am so excited to jump in and share everything with you today. But first I want to say welcome to anyone who's new here, and thank you to my subscribers. I want to give a big shout out to my new subscribers from the American Sewing Guild. Thank you for joining and supporting me here. So this blouse I have on is one of the new makes for this week. This is the Onil free blouse pattern from Pauline Alice, and I will be linking this pattern down below. I've made this pattern before. You can see that video. I'll put a little pop-up right here when I made this top out of one thrifted shower curtain, two different tops. This time I made a little bit of a modification. I added a little length to the bottom. One of my subscribers made that suggestion. So I added about an inch to the bottom, and I did add a little pin tuck to the bottom of these sleeves to kind of give it a whimsical little look that kind of goes with the strawberry fabric. This is a muslin fabric I got at Hobby Lobby at the beginning of spring, and I'm just so obsessed with it. You all know, if you know, I love strawberries, I love daisies, I love bumblebees, and so this is just being added to my collection of fun, whimsical tops. If you haven't tried the Onil top, I would really highly suggest you do. It's a very basic pattern, front and back. It has a squared neck yoke. It's lined with exact same square neck yoke lining. I can maybe show you a little bit. Oh, I did tack it down. I hand sewed it down so it would stay in, so I can't show you, but it goes out to about here and it just goes together beautifully. The sleeves are big and fluttery. You can add an elastic to the sleeves, you can add a pin tuck, or you can leave them big and full and airy, which is great for this time of year. I would also love to play around with this top as it gets to be cooler and we're into fall. I'd love to add a length to the sleeve, maybe a cuff, and make it in a warmer knit fabric. I think it would be gorgeous. So stick around for that. So today is a Friday Sews video. And if you don't know what Friday Sews is, it's basically we're going over all the fun things that happened in the sewing community, in my sewing adventures this past week. And I'm excited to show you. So stick around for that. We have thrift finds that I want to share with you. I started making a new fun pattern that I'm so excited about. It has to do with butterflies, and I've got some happy news to share with you as well. So if that sounds interesting, stick around and let's go on this Friday Sews adventure together. I'm out here on my patio and I want to show you all of the beautiful doilies and linens that I got at an estate sale. And I actually went to two different sales, and combined I was able to buy a lot of beautiful linens that are hand embroidery. I washed, and this is day 3 for them to be sitting out here in right now. They're in my covered patio, but the sun gets in here in the afternoon and just really is intense. And what I'm doing is I'm bleaching out stains and reviving them back to their original brilliant white colors. So let me show you those. These are just lovely, lovely pieces. They've been out here for a few days. I washed them in a mild detergent on gentle cycle, because some of these are very, very old pieces. Lots of napkins. As you can see, there's some stainage. It's really quite faded out now, but there's lots I can do to work around the stains in these. My idea is to be using these in upcycle projects. You can see On this doily, there's kind of a color. I don't think that'll matter because, you know, I often tea dye. This tablecloth is just gorgeous. The next thing I want to share are the beautiful linens I picked up at the estate sale. Most of these pieces are full-size tablecloths. This one has got open space embroidery with lace between. I don't know that this one is handmade, but it's very old and it's very, very long. It's for a very long table. I would love to make something gorgeous with this. It would be so beautiful. So that's one. This is a hand crocheted, either it's a blanket or a tablecloth. I do not know, but it's huge. I have not washed these yet. I only washed the small doilies. This is handmade. This is hand crocheted around pieces of embroidered circles. You can see all the detail work here. Very well made. It's very big. It's for probably a medium size table. Then I have more doilies. Here's another one that's hand crocheted. This one's hand crocheted around embroidered linen. You can see the details of that crochet work. This one is quite big as well. This is just an old curtain, I think. An old curtain. Here's another one. Oh, these are all the napkins that go. Another tablecloth, old lace. Here's another one that's hand crocheted around. It's quite intricate and beautiful. And it just goes on and on. There's just more and more and more and more here. So I'm excited about these. I want to use these in my upcycle work, my jackets. I'm thinking about like a duster of some kind. And I know some of you are going to cringe at me cutting these up. But if you have any ideas on how I could use them, please share in the comments. I'd love to hear any patterns or any experience you've had upcycling these beautiful linens and doilies. Oops, sorry, that's my little doggy Tootsie. She's probably chasing a deer. I'm excited to get to work using these beautiful antique linens. Does anyone else get as excited as I do about vintage linens and doilies and embroidered items? I just get so excited. Welcome into my sewing trailer. Kind of a tight squeeze. Currently, the trailer is a disaster. It's a disaster. I have been gathering. I'm in gathering mode and sewing mode and creative mode, and I just haven't been in here to organize and clean. So it literally looks like the trailer is throwing up fabric, but it makes it all the more fun, right? I do work better when things are organized, but today's not the day. Today's to share. So if you see a little clutter here and there, that's what's happening. I have been gathering up fabrics and resources for my next projects, and I've been having a lot of fun. So as you know, I have a lot of grandchildren and a lot of granddaughters, and there's several of them that are turning 4 and 5 this year. And I ran into this butterfly wing pattern. It's on Etsy. I'll link it below. I guess the brand is WOM, which is like Wow Mom, kind of. It's a great pattern. I am having so much fun. I've already created a pair of wings with the doll. So it comes in 3 sizes, girls, well, it's girls or boys. It comes in 3 sizes. It's a larger wing, a medium wing, and then a doll size wing. So It's really fun. The ones I created, I'll pop up right here. Those went in the mail already to my granddaughter Fern. And so I want to show you the ones I'm working on now. Today is actually my granddaughter Addison's birthday, and so I made her these wings. You can see that they're appliqued and quilted, and they have these easy to put on straps. What I was really surprised about is how easily my 4-year-old granddaughter could put these on all by herself without help from her mama. And then she put them on, and then she started jumping up and down, and her little wings would just go flap, 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 flap. She was so excited. These are, if I didn't mention it before, these are on Etsy. So I'll link it below. So I have this one. These ones are my work in progress, and you can see currently there's a batting on the back. These are not lined yet, and the way that I do that is I use the iron-on batting, and then I use heat and bond for attaching all of the little wing pieces. The pattern has lots of different designs. Let me show you. You get all of these little pieces, and then it gives you these examples on ways you can set them so each butterfly wing could be different. So each one you make doesn't have to be exactly the same. You just get all of these pieces. And what I do is I cut out the full pattern piece. I lay it on the fusible heat and bond and trace it, cut it out, and then I iron it onto the fabric that I'm going to cut the little pieces out of. This one you can see I made a little bee. I actually just hand cut around that beak and around this flower because I wanted them to be able to be seen as a full bee and a full flower, because I just thought that my granddaughters would love that. Yeah, the instructions are very easy, simple to follow, very clear, and I just had a really great time making these. These have a backing. So on the backing pieces, I also iron on the fusible fleece just to give a lot of stability, because when you're done, you want these to kind of be, or I do, kind of be like a quilt quality. You end up sewing all the way around the wings, right sides together, and underneath this little flap, you cut a slit beforehand. Not all the way, just a slit. That slit later gets covered with this strip here, which is the body of the butterfly. But you just sew all the way around, leaving a gap where the straps go in. And once you've sewn around with them right sides together, you trim them and turn them, and then you stick the straps and top stitch them, and I'll show you that. So this is the top stitching of the strap that I stuck in. It tells you the complete measurements for the straps. The straps have the option of being ribbon, or mine are casing with elastic. So it has two options. I liked the elastic because the children can put them on by themselves. And it does look like they're kind of big, but when they put them on, they're very secure. So if you have grandchildren, this is just an amazing pattern. I'm loving it, and I look forward to making more. These are the other two that I'm working on. They're kind of similar, but not exactly. I recently picked up a bag of scraps from our local thrift shop. It had all of these interesting colors. Kind of, some of them match, some of them didn't match, but they caught my eye because of some of the colors. Now, this bag, as you can see, is not completely full. When I bought it, it was completely full. It says scraps, and I paid 99 cents for this. And I want to show you what I've been making with these scraps. First off, I pieced together these blocks. Let me see. This way. I just used an offset log cabin, and this is supposed to be like a flower with leaves. There were lots of these cream colors, so these are all very similar. Try to show you really quick, and I ended up with 4 blocks. I like this one has a little bit of blue because I ran out of the green for it. I then made this little cloth basket, and just using it to store some of the fabric in it that I'm using for some of my projects that will go with those blocks I was working on. So they're my quilt inspiration. And then I made another little basket that I use to keep my scissors and miscellaneous things in, especially when I am going to sewing meetups and things and I want to just be able to grab everything, shove it in a little container I can put in my bag and then pull out and set in my sewing area when I'm away sewing. Which brings me to something very exciting. I joined the American Sewing Guild, and I joined last month, and it was one of those. I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm laying in bed scrolling, and I'm thinking about sewing stuff. And I remembered going to the quilt show, and I remembered I've always been thinking I'm going to join the quilting guild and or the sewing guild. And I clicked on it, paid for it, and joined. And then the next day I was like, I don't even know anything about this. It took a little time, but I got an email and then I got my membership card. And eventually I was able to get like a little connection to find out the whole website for my local guild, which is the Gold Country Sewing Guild. And I went to a sit and sew on last Saturday. It was so fun. I have never met so many nice, kind-hearted people in my life. It was just wonderful. There were about 15 of us gathered around with our machines, each of us just working on our own projects. I made this blouse while I was at that. Then yesterday I went to sew Scrappy, which is another neighborhood gathering that is through the American Sewing Guild. And there we did, like, they have a quilt they're working on. So every month, somebody brings a quilt pattern for the month and shares it with the group. And then everybody makes that quilt block, and it's a 10-inch quilt block. I'm really excited. I went to lunch with them all afterwards, and yeah, there's so many fun things. We're going to be making things for the fair to display at the local fair next year. And yeah, so stay tuned for all that fun. I would love to bring you along. I'll try to pop up a picture here of yesterday's gathering. I don't want to expose people because I didn't get permission for their pictures. So I'll try to fuzz out or cover their faces. But we got to share different makes, and I was so inspired by some of their makes. And so if you have the desire to join the American Sewing Guild, it's all over the United States. And all you do is Google search your local American Sewing Guild, ASG, and go in and find the chapter in your area and join. I think it's $50 or $60 for the year. You get discounts at some of your local quilt shops. You get access to the events that are happening. And you get a community of people who are inspired by your sewing, but also inspiring you. So thank you for joining me for this #Friday Sews. It was so fun to share everything with you. I'm so excited. Thank you for those of you who have liked and commented on my latest Upcycle jacket. I'm so inspired by the upcycling community. And I just want to give a shout out to Tracy Myers, who has inspired me in that making of that jacket. And I just want to remind you that we're all a community, that we're all here to inspire each other, encourage each other, and learn from each other. So today I hope that you found something to spark interest in your life of sewing this week. Until next week, I'll see you. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.